Back in Phoenix, it is the 58th edition of the NBA All-Star Game. The East has won 35, the West has won 22. The East has won 3 of the last 4, and we're moments away from the opening tip. Let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups. And for the East at the guards, 5-time All-Star Dwayne Wade, along with 10-time All-Star Allen Iverson, a power-packed backcourt up front. The big ticket, Kevin Garnett, along with last season's All-Star MVP LeBron James and the NBA's leading rebounder and shot blocker Dwight Howard. As for the West, in the backcourt, the NBA's most valuable player last season, Kobe Bryant, along with Chris Paul, making his first All-Star start. On the front line, representing the Phoenix Suns, Amari Stoudemire, along with 11-time All-Star Tim Duncan, and Yao Ming making his 7th All-Star appearance. Right here, let's go to the public address voice of the Phoenix Suns, Jeff Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Orlando Magic, please welcome Dwight Howard.
On behalf of the NBA and the players, I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and welcome you to the 58th All-Star Game. We're going to have some fun. Let's get it. Let's go.
Dwight Howard, who will be the starting center for the East. And as Doug mentioned earlier, the leading vote getter for the All-Star Game, the first player ever to exceed 3 million votes. The officiating crew here tonight, Mark Wondolick in his 18th season, Ron Elysiak in his 21st year, and Tony Brothers in his 15th season. East and West getting ready to take the court. Reggie, we were talking yesterday about your very first All-Star appearance back in 1990 in Miami. What was the mindset at that time?
Very, very nervous. Walking in the locker room, there's Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, as we mentioned yesterday, a very skinny and svelte Charles Barkley, and all you really wanted to do was fit in and shoot threes, and that's all I did.
And Doug, you can look at it from the coaching perspective. I know you coached the East in Cleveland back in 1997, and it's not the type of game where you put in 8 out-of-bounds plays and several versions of the pick and roll.
No, this is called scripting minutes. We talked to Mike Brown before the game, and he was talking about that and how you get down with your assistant coaches and you script out the minutes to make sure, Marv, in that fourth quarter, about the 8-minute mark, guys have got their playing time, so then you can go with the guys you want to go with at that point in time to try to win the game.
Now, Mike Brown, the Cavaliers head coach, did tell us that he wants to play the 3 Celtics and the 2 Magic players, Dwight Howard, Rashard Lewis, 40 minutes plus here tonight.
He'll be getting a memo, I'm sure, from both of those general managers if that does happen.
The East in control in the dark uniforms, the blue. And here is Dwayne Wade from 3.
This guy has been on a mission ever since last year when he got hurt. People questioned whether or not he should have been on the Olympic team. He has been a driven man, drove into the gold medal, and he's coming back with a sensational early part of this season.
Kobe Bryant from way downtown. And back comes LeBron James. LeBron to the rim.
Well, it's going to be size versus speed. The West has the size, but the East, with LeBron James, especially in the open court, has the speed.
Amari Stoudemire. And rebounded by Dwight Howard. Amari Stoudemire has been very much in the news over the weekend, the subject of much trade speculation. At one point, reportedly, all 29 other teams had called to inquire. Wade again with a 3, and it's rebounded by Duncan.
It's always nice to be wanted. 29 teams.
You just don't want to have a fire sale to give up somebody like that. That's the only problem.
And it's very difficult to get equal value.
Exactly.
Little fadeaway move. And it's a run down by Iverson. Allen Iverson of the Detroit Pistons, who have had their problems. Oh, beautiful ball fake by Iverson.
And yes, that is Allen Iverson with the new hairdo. The cornrows are gone. And Marv, you were the one that was in his room helping him cut that,
yes,
correct?
I was.
Okay.
Very helpful that way. And here's Duncan, Tim Duncan of the San Antonio Spurs, who after a slow start have come on. They are 35-16, the second best team in the Western Conference. Garnett, yes.
Two of the best mid-range shooting big men in the game. And you're going to see Tim Duncan shoot a lot of jump shots. That's what Greg Popovich has had been doing this season. Does not want to get him beat up down on that low post, so taking a lot more jump shots this year.
Duncan, and slapped out of bounds. Last touch by Howard of the East.
Hey, Coach, the East looks much more relaxed as Allen Iverson in the open court gets into the lane. Nice little ball fake and finish. But remember the practice yesterday? The East was very relaxed. The West was a little bit more structured. The West looks a little bit tense right now.
Eastern squad trying to set Guinness Book of Records standards, of which apparently Devin Harris of the Nets was able to go from end to end with the basketball in 3.9 seconds. And we asked the question, was he trying to break anyone's record? And the answer was no. He was setting a record.
That was called being set up by some veteran teammates.
Bryant with a series of fakes and then the soft touch.
Well, Kobe Bryant last year, remember, only played about 3 minutes in this game. He had injured a finger right before the All-Star game, and I think Phil Jackson would like to keep his minutes down today as well.
Here's Wade going behind the back. Oh, and it's put down by Dwight Howard.
Well, he leads the NBA in dunks on the year, 127 already this season.
Nice crossover by Paul. Yao Ming coming up short. Kept alive by Bryant. Garnett with the rebound.
The East can run.
Wade went 1-on-2. And it's handled by Duncan. Bryant to the pull-up for three. And the rebound snatched by James. A little hop-step move here by LeBron, going right at Stoudemire. Was that the crab dribble that we just saw?
Remember when Magic used to do that? As soon as he got the rebound, he would do that like high dribble, skip down the floor.
Oh, and Paul rejected after a nice move. Foul is called. First foul of the night.
Well, Dwight Howard, we saw him last year as Superman. He was dethroned last night with a little kryptonite by Nate Robinson. But how about Dwight Howard in this block? And Marv, just to put that little block in perspective there, we talked about in our open, but he leads the NBA in blocks at almost 3 a game. He leads in rebounding, and if he leads in those two stats, he'll be only the 5th player in NBA history to lead in both rebounds and blocks in the same season. And as I said in the open, I think if I had to vote right now, he would be my defensive player of the year.
However, last night, Superman defending his slam dunk championship in another spectacular competition, lost his crown to the high-flying Nate Robinson of the Knicks.
And how about that? He acted as a prop in his own defeat.
Not quite sure he was trying to pass the torch to little Nate.
Oh, Wade uncontested. The East with a 13-6 lead. They've hit 6 of their first 10 from the field. The West just 2 of 9. Duncan over Iverson, and the tip missed by Stoudemire. Look out. Oh, James whipping by Paul, who's just wisely stepped away. And here's LeBron setting his feet for 3.
This guy's become such a great basketball player, Marv. He's shooting the ball better. His footwork, his release is more consistent on a nightly basis. His attention to detail has grown through the years, and he is a brilliant basketball player.
Power move by Stoudemire, then try to find Yao. The save by Iverson, but did not carry him out of bounds. Paul is on it. Here's Bryant from Paul.
Chris Paul doing a good job. Saw the lock, the loose ball, picks it up, finds Kobe Bryant streaking down the lane for the easy dunk.
Reach-in is called on Paul.
Look at Chris Paul here with the steal. Voids. LeBron James going down the lane with the finish. Another former slam dunk champion in Kobe Bryant.
very early in his NBA career. How about LeBron saying that he's thinking of entering slam dunk next season? Nice pass from Iverson. Howard was blocked by Duncan. And again, Duncan got a piece of it. East will maintain possession. That was last touched by Duncan.
Well, the growth in Dwight Howard's game, we know he's a power player, a dunker around that lane. His game, the next expansion is going to be when he can step out and make that little 10-foot jump shot. And when he does that, he's going to be unguardable.
James coming short on a catch and shoot. The shot by Garnett.
I was amazed by how his shot has improved. When he came in as a young player out of high school, his shot was a line drive, and he lifts that ball so beautifully tonight. He's really worked so hard on getting great trajectory on that shot.
Ball stripped. Good play by Iverson. Recovered by Garnett. Wade spinning for Garnett. Back it goes. Beautifully done. LeBron James from Kevin Garnett.
That's three excellent passing all-stars right there.
And Kobe Bryant right back. We're actually seeing, on the steal by Bryant, we're actually seeing some defensive play here at the start, which we're not customary to witnessing at an all-star game in the first couple of quarters.
What I like is, too, we've seen some sensational plays, Mark, but the degree of difficulty, guys aren't throwing the ball around. It's not sloppy. It's a well-played game here early.
At times, it is schoolyard at the start. Not the case thus far. 20-10, the East on top.
The 2009 NBA All-Star Game on TNT, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you by the Hyundai Assurance. An automaker that's got your back. Isn't that a nice change? By T-Mobile G1 with Google. Everything you love about the web, now on a phone. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Gatorade, the quest for G. It's the heart, hustle, and soul of the game.
Welcome back to Phoenix, and now it's time for the Gatorade Around the Cooler Report. The biggest story here in Phoenix this weekend was not All-Star Game, was not a trade or a firing or anything like that. It was Allen Iverson, who showed up with a lot less hair than we're used to seeing him have. For the first time in at least 12 years, Iverson's gone back to his normal haircut. He's cut his braids. The deed happened Thursday night. One of Iverson's old friends from the neighborhood cut his hair. It was not the woman that normally does his braids. It caused quite the amount of controversy and comment among the East team. LeBron James said that his teammate looked like he was 10 years old again. Iverson said that his kids and his wife both told him that it was time to have a new look. As he told me yesterday, Obama's president now. It's time for change. Let's go over to the West Side and Craig Sager.
Well, All-Star Weekend fashion statements from head to toe. A lot of the players wearing very special shoes this weekend. This is the Nike Zoom 4 from Kobe. And this is the lightest shoe. As you notice, it's also a low cut. And Kobe says it allows him to cut on a dime, sort of the basket, give him stability and flexibility. He'll also be sporting something new tonight, too. He is one of 6 players from this summer's Olympic team to receive special Olympic championship rings. That ceremony will be at halftime. The others, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, and Chris Bosh. Back to you, Mark.
All right, guys. Several substitutions at both ends. Block shot. Once again, it is Dwight Howard, Paul Pierce of the Celtics, Joe Johnson of the Hawks, Devin Harris of the Nets have come on for the East. Shaquille O'Neal of the Suns and Dirk Nowitzki of the Mavs on the floor. So we have Kobe and Shaq playing together for the first time since their days as a Laker. The runner by Paul, rebounded by O'Neal. Here is Shaq, and he tips it home. Those of you who were with us for the pregame introductions with Shaq performing during the intros, I thought I was watching an updated version of Dick Clark's American Bandstand.
It was pretty good with the Jabberwockies? Very
Yes.
nice. I think best dance crew winners first season. I know you watch that, Mark.
I do on a regular basis. Pierce off the mark. Bryant with the rebound. Puts it between the legs. Being played by Johnson. Spinning his way. Bryant with lots of time for three.
Kobe Bryant has come out firing in this game. What is that, his 10th shot or his 9th shot here early in this game? So
He's hit 4 of 9 here at the start. Oh, Paul eludes James. Here's the lob. Stoudemire puts it down.
Nice fake in the open court. He thought LeBron James bit on it, was going to get this steal. Kept his dribble down and found Amari Stoudemire.
Johnson trying to put a move on. Lost the handle. Paul, who leads the NBA in steals with several spins to make his move, went behind the back. O'Neal lost it. Tried to get a little too tricky.
Yeah, he looked up and he saw Dwight Howard. He was going to try to put himself in a position, just power through him and took his eyes off the ball. But you see Chris Paul go out of the game, Marv. You know, so much expectation on this New Orleans Hornets team this year, and I see a smile on his face. I bet it's been a while since he's enjoyed playing. New Orleans has had a down year. Tyson Chandler's been hurt. Peja Stojakovic having a down year, and I'm sure this is a special day for Chris Paul to finally have a little fun.
And Paul sidelined by injury recently. Here's Harris. Ball slapped away. Good play by O'Neal. This is Brandon Roy of the Trailblazers. He just checked in. Bryant to the rim.
We were speaking with Phil Jackson before the game. He said Kobe would probably play the first 8 or 9 minutes of the first quarter, and then he'd go after that. Kobe trying to make a statement early.
Shard Lewis of the Magic, who just came on, not able to hit. The West with an 11-0 run. They are within 1. Chauncey Billups of the Denver Nuggets, what a year he has had, has come on, sets it up for Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, Shaq said that he feels good all season long. He's talked about, you know, he's sitting out some games, some back-to-backs, but he's throwing some big numbers for the Phoenix Suns this year.
Here comes Billups. What a difference he has made in the turnaround of the Nuggets. Billups coming over in that deal for Allen Iverson. Nowitzki, played by Pierce, and a foul, holding foul on Lewis.
So that's a tough matchup for Rashard Lewis guarding Shaquille O'Neal down in the low post. Probably a good foul to take there, but that's one of the things the East is going to suffer with. Really not many big men, and the West roster is loaded with big guys. So Kobe Bryant here off to a great start, off the wrong foot, the powerful dunk. I mean, his old teammate Shaquille O'Neal showing he's still got it here in the inside. The power finish. The West on a 13-0 run as they lead by 1.
Everybody be careful out there. We know what we're here to do. Everybody have a good time, but take care of yourself.
Let's go, man. East on 3, man. Win on 6. 1, 2, 3.
East.
4, 5, 6.
Win.
Let's go.
Yeah, look where we are. That's the All-Star game move, not NBA travel. Hey, he just jumped over 2 people, didn't he?
And Coach, most of the All-Star games I played in, yes, the officials turn a blind eye sometimes when it comes to the traveling. They let things go a little bit because they want the fans to be entertained. So it's not going to be as stringent calls when it comes to traveling.
Marv, I've actually seen Reggie be inside the three-point line and take 2 steps back and shoot a 3, and it was fine. It was all good stuff.
Are you saying an all-star play or regular season play?
Well, a little of both, I mean, but mostly all-star, yes.
All right, here's Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs coming on for the first time. Ray Allen checks in for the East. Nice play. And Parker with the bucket. How about Kobe Bryant, who just took a seat? Kobe 5 for 10 from the field, 11 points, and 10 shot attempts for a quarter, just 2 off the all-time NBA All-Star record, which is held by Bill Sharman, who did it back in 1960. Bill, a member of the Boston Celtics, pretty set up for Shaquille O'Neal from Brandon Roy. Bill Sharman, who also played baseball in the Brooklyn Dodger system. And here is Pierce kicking it out. Johnson. And a look-away outlet from O'Neal to Parker.
Shaq loves to show that he can pass. In the post, you've seen a look-away drop-off for a layup to Tony Parker. That time, the long outlet pass. And here's Rashard Lewis, the guy that leads the NBA in both makes and attempts from behind that three-point line.
And that stopped a 19-0 run by the West. 19 consecutive. Billups from downtown, missed a big shot. Hits the long 3. It's 30-23. West. Good hustle as that ball is deflected out.
I like how Shaq is being aggressive at both ends of the floor. Right here, gets the rebound. A no-look outlet. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that, but again.
I have. I played against it. Wes Unseld was the best.
Phillips passing on a three, and a nice lead for Tony Parker.
How about the year Tony Parker's having? Before he sprained his ankle, had a 55-point game in Minnesota that was his career high. Was off to a blazing start, and then got hurt, but has come back very strong.
Tony averaging 20 a game, along with the 6 assists. That's Rashard Lewis. Rashard Lewis of the Magic. Orlando at 38-13, third best record in the Eastern Conference. Final minute, first quarter, and the West up by 7.
West really playing through Shaquille O'Neal.
Off the steal, Pierce has a 3-on-2. Harris gives it up. Allen wide open. Kept alive. Pierce not able to score, but a foul. Be part of NBA All-Star 2009 with your friends on Facebook. Choose your view and chat live on Facebook. Only at TNT Overtime on NBA.com. And that foul on Chauncey Billups, putting Paul Pierce at the free throw line. 85% shooter.
The last time we had Paul Pierce, the brilliant fourth quarter in Dallas, the 18 points. He had 31 in that game. Shaquille O'Neal having a seat right now as Pau Gasol comes into the game, but Paul Pierce and the Boston Celtics, what a display of what I thought championship poise the other night, and just heart in that game against Dallas on TNT. Down 15, looked like going nowhere, and came back to win that game for their 8th straight road win.
And the Celtics have won 8 of the last 10. They're now 44-11. Gasol with the reverse stuff.
Check right in, and they run a play for you.
Harris, that was a three-point attempt, rebounded by Gasol.
Sure, the West will play for one shot.
West with a 7-point lead, coming up on 10 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Gasol posting up on Lewis. Johnson over to help. Final seconds. Here is Powell with a sweeping hook. And Pierce fires from the backcourt to end this first quarter. So the West 15 of 28 shooting, led by Kobe Bryant, 5 of 10 with 11 points. And the East 11 for 28. The high man, LeBron James, with 7. The West ending this opening quarter with a 26-7 spurt. Back at the U.S. Airways Center, capacity crowd better than 18,000 turning out for the 58th NBA All-Star Game. Senator John McCain and his wife Cindy, another well-known couple, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Many familiar faces on hand. There is Snoop Dogg and
Snoopy Doggy Dog.
And Ludacris.
Or Chris Bridges, his acting name.
You are so on it.
Oh, Chris Tucker right next to him.
You want to go around the arena and check others here?
Hey, the biggest person is to our left, and that's Muhammad Ali.
That's
correct. I don't care about anyone else in here.
Muhammad taking it all in, a couple of seats away from us. Second quarter gets underway. Ray Allen has a 3-on-2, kicks it back for a 3-point attempt that is blocked. Joe Johnson blocked by Pau Gasol. Parker with the dish. Nowitzki from Parker.
Textbook fast break. Get the ball in the middle. Stop at the free throw line and execute it and give it to one of your wing players.
The West with a 36-27 lead at one stretch. They reeled off 19 unanswered points.
Big part of that was Shaquille O'Neal, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists while he was in the game.
Pierce backing his way. Allen is open. Just did beat the shot clock buzzer. Roy surprised by that pass, able to recover. Brandon Roy of the Portland Trailblazers playing his second All-Star game. Devin Harris showing us that dazzling speed.
That's speed versus speed. Tony Parker and Devin Harris. I'd love to see a foot race between those two guys. They're probably faster with the ball, though, than they are without it.
So what you're trying to say, that Tony should have been gone after the Guinness Book of World Records?
I don't think Tony's going to get suckered into that.
Here's Pierce protecting the ball, and he got the rolls. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Reggie Miller, Craig Sager, David Aldridge working the sidelines. We are in Phoenix, Arizona, the West with a 9-point lead. Nowitzki, yes.
It creates such great space with that fading jump shot. He gets it behind his head, and posting more this year over the last few games with the Rick Carlisle.
Well, this is like our game on Thursday. Paul Pierce versus Dirk Nowitzki kind of going at it in that fourth quarter.
And Nowitzki got the step block from behind by Pierce and a foul. Got the hand. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Marv, Doug mentioned you want to see that foot race between Devin Harris and Tony Parker. Devin Harris actually did go baseline to baseline with a basketball yesterday at the practice, set a Guinness World Record of 3.93 seconds. Then for the West, Tony Parker was chosen to challenge that record. However, he got a late phone call from his coach, Greg Popovich, and said, I advise you not to take part in that. So Tony decided to give Devin Harris the world record.
Vetoed from afar. Wow. Popovich has some pull.
Well, Doug mentioned as we were watching that he wondered what the reaction of Nets coach
Lawrence Frank, yeah.
The West up by 11. We're 2 minutes in, second quarter. Gasol jumping out at Pierce. Pierce able to go baseline, and he is fouled.
Such a tough matchup. Somebody, either Pau Gasol or Dirk Nowitzki, has got to guard a small player. Now you look out there, it's Rashard Lewis and basically Paul Pierce are your power players. You got Danny Granger, Ray Allen, and Mo Williams. So this is what Mike Brown had talked about with his lack of big guys. And I think Phil Jackson, the thing for him is a lot of his big guys don't want to play a lot of minutes today, which is probably good for Phil in terms of trying to find time.
Foul committed by Gasol. You can vote for the game that you want to see on NBA TV. Special fan night voting extends through tonight's All-Star game, and results will be announced on a special episode of Inside the NBA on NBA TV following the NBA All-Star game. A couple of other reminders. Wednesday on ESPN, it is Orlando at New Orleans, followed by the Lakers, Golden State. And then next Sunday on ABC, Boston, right here at Phoenix. Coverage starts 2 o'clock Eastern time. The West up by 9. This is Mo Williams of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who just came on, rebounded by Brandon Roy. David West of the Hornets has checked in for the Western squad. Phillips way off. Gasol getting inside.
And that's going to be the West problem, is because they are so small. If you're Pau Gasol, you've got to bang on the offensive glass.
Lewis off the fake. Pierce for 3. Oh, that is a very nice rim to be shooting at.
Nice touch.
I do not speak out of experience.
Soft rims.
Ball slapped away, but it's recovered by Phillips. His pass picked off. Here comes Danny Granger of the Pacers. 3-on-1. Nice pass from Williams to set it up for Allen.
Great to see Mo Williams in this game after playing so brilliantly in the first part of the season for Cleveland.
Mo, a late substitute because of the injury suffered by Chris Bosh, sidelined by that sprained right knee. And Pierce is fouled by West. How about Mo Williams? The day after he received word that, yes, he had made the All-Star team, goes out, puts up a career-high 44. That was this past Wednesday night against the Suns. Timeout is taken. And the West with a 46-40 lead. Well, it has been an action-packed couple of days here in Phoenix. And time right now for the TurboTax Money Shots. A recap of All-Star Weekend. We'll start with Kevin Durant. 46 points, named MVP of the Rookie Challenge, leading the sophomores to a win. And Durant also won the horse competition, defeating Joe Johnson and O.J. Mayo. And how about Team Detroit winning the Shooting Stars contest? Combination of Bill Laimbeer, Aaron Aflalo, Katie Smith. Rookie Derrick Rose of the Chicago Bulls showing his all-around talent, winning the Skills Challenge. Daquan Cook of the Miami Heat won the three-point shootout, beating Rashard Lewis of the Orlando Magic. And it was Nate Robinson of the Knicks taking home the Slam Dunk Trophy, using Dwight Howard as a prop. I tell you, Dwight was nice enough to go along with that.
Yes, he was. Well, Marv, you take a look at Reggie was talking about the size factor, the East versus the West. The East has taken 14 threes in this game as Paul Pierce steps to the line and look for his 12th point of the game. The West has taken only 4. The difference is the West has 32 points in the paint to 18, so you can see the difference. The West going inside with their size and attacking, and the East spreading the floor and launching threes.
And Paul Pierce with 12 points within 5 minutes. West up 46-41. 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Phillips for 3. Mo Williams with the rebound. Looked like he was going to peg it down court. Here comes Pierce. Takes to the rim and hits on the reverse.
Yeah, Paul Pierce played great basketball. He started out slow this year, but month by month his numbers are going up, and right now is in a good groove here off this bench.
Paul Pierce averaging 19 points during the regular season, along with 6 rebounds. The East with 8 unanswered. West over Lewis and rebounded by Lewis.
Well, as small as the East is, they're doing a good job on the boards, making sure there's only one shot.
Allen for 3. He's been off. Rebounded by West. West with Gasol and Roy up front. Parker and Billups are at the guards. Billups lost it. Here's Granger. Parker just says, you take it.
Reggie, you got to be happy with this young guy from the Indiana Pacers with what he's doing, not only with his play, but just the character and dignity he plays this game with. You got to be very proud being a former Pacer.
Well, I am. You know, he plays hard. He plays hurt. Right now, he has banged up knees, and you know, he said there was no way he was going to miss the opportunity to play in this game. And you know, when the Pacers drafted him, first of all, it was a steal. He was supposed to go in the lottery. He fell down to the 17th pick. The Pacers picked him up, and last year averaged 18, 19 points. Now almost 26. In line for most improved.
Danny Granger in his 4th season out of New Mexico. Pierce's pass picked off by Parker. Phillips finding Gasol, and he is fouled. Lewis coming over and making contact. That's his 2nd. And now wholesale substitutions being made. Kobe Bryant will return along with Amari Stoudemire and Chris Paul. Dwayne Wade and Kevin Garnett will check back in. Pau Gasol in his 2nd All-Star appearance. Rookie of the Year as a member of the Memphis Grizzlies, acquired in that steal by the Lakers last season.
Well, look at the numbers, 63 and 15 when he plays for the Lakers, and very impressive for the Los Angeles Lakers. We saw them in Boston right before the All-Star break, and they go in there and beat Boston, break their 12-game winning streak. They broke their 19-game winning streak at Christmas. They go in and beat Cleveland, break their 23-game home winning streak. That's all without Andrew Bynum.
Dwayne Wade, who just came back on, able to knock down that corner shot. The West up 48-47. Once again, Gasol gets inside, and a late whistle fouled a push on Garnett.
Coach, it's been a while, 48-47, especially with 6 minutes left in the second quarter, that I've seen an NBA All-Star game played with this kind of defense.
Well, it's a nice rhythm. That's what I like. Guys are making the simple play, and you can see what the West is doing. They're coming down. They're running that little middle pick and roll, rolling down the lane, and we've seen Gasol catch that ball to finish when Shaquille O'Neal was in the game. He had 3 powerful finishes. So, you know, Phil Jackson's always been a guy that likes those big guys inside, and he's taken advantage of his height here in this first half.
Phil Jackson, this the 4th appearance as an All-Star head coach. Phil has coached 9 NBA championship teams, 6 with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen and the Bulls, 3 with the Lakers of Kobe and Shaq. Mo Williams for 3. Granger kept it alive, but ends up in the hands of West. 2-on-1. Gasol from his teammate Bryant.
Runs the floor so nicely for a big man, and you know they call that a post lane sprint, Mark. You run right to the front of the rim, and if you don't get it, you turn and seal and look for a quick post up.
Williams. That's a 3-pointer for the Cleveland Cavalier. Mo Williams averaging 17 points and shooting very well, 46% for the season. Brandon Roy right back.
One of my favorite players, Marv. I think you guys had him early in the year when he had his 52-point game against Phoenix. I think you also had him when he had the game against Houston, where it looked like he committed the foul on Yao Ming, gave up a 3-point play, and then hit the miraculous shot to win that game. So Brandon Roy, when you hear him talking about this year, he said, I'm much more comfortable. Mo Williams is comfortable being here, playing on a great team with the Cleveland Cavaliers with a chance to win a championship. And Brandon Roy, smooth, efficient, no wasted energy, the sweet jump shot. And the West lead by 4.
The 2009 NBA All-Star Game on TNT, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you by Protégé Footwear and Apparel, built to ball and available only at Kmart. And by Windows, life without walls.
Welcome back to the All-Star Game, with the West leading by 4. This weekend, the wishes of several children with life-threatening medical conditions are being fulfilled by the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
What's your name? How you doing? Do you want me to sign that for you? All right. Where are you from?
I'm from Sweden.
Is that right? Look, now, whoa. Zip it up, fall back, go to sleep.
What's up, bro? Dang, you talking to me? What's up, man? You good?
Yeah.
I told you, 6 hours.
6 hours. Distracted. Might give my boy calling the autograph.
Oh, wow.
Where you live at, Dallas?
Abilene, Texas.
I live in Frisco.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that, did you?
No, I knew that.
Yeah, I'm there all the time watching that.
And each of the children was assigned to an all-star player. We saw Dirk Nowitzki right there with Colin Kirkpatrick from Abilene, Texas. And I know you said you wanted to provide a whole weekend of hope, joy, and strength to these kids. How fulfilling and enriching was it for you?
It was fun. It was fun just to see him smile. You know, it was a dream come true for him. And, you know, I took him on the bus, and just to see his eyes when Kobe walked on the bus. And, he was stunned. He was in heaven. So, it was great to see, and I took him in the locker room, introduced him to everybody. He got everybody's autograph, and he just wrote me a little letter before the game. He gave me a little letter, and he was so excited. So it was great all around.
What do you say in the letter?
Just how great I was to introduce him to everybody, and it was a dream come true for him, and he'll be a Mavericks fan for life.
Well, thanks a lot. Great job this weekend. And I'm sorry, but Phil Jackson says you're supposed to go in.
Yeah, I'm coming.
All right, back to you, Mark.
All right, Craig, thanks. So Dirk Nowitzki will check in just a moment. The West with a 54-51 lead.
You know, Marv, who else is very big with the Make-A-Wish Foundation is Michael Jordan. And they had a big article on here in the Phoenix paper that he was out here just recently, he and Chris Paul, and just putting smiles on these young people's faces, which is such a wonderful thing to do.
Paul looking for the opening, then gets it to Roy. Pulling it back on Granger. Rebounded by West. West getting position on way. David West of the New Orleans Hornets. And the East right back. Mo Williams showing his speed.
Chris Paul gambling in the backcourt. You gamble and don't get it. You put your defense at odds.
Paul's pass intended for his Hornet teammate West. Back comes Williams behind the back. And they reset. Williams, that's a two-pointer, had a foot on the line.
Well, that's where they can attack the West. If they can get some steals and get in the open court, they have that speed and the ability to really stretch that floor.
Well, Williams has hit 3 of 5. He has 8 points. Bryant, 4-3. Rebounded by Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire. And the question with Amari, could he be playing his final game as a member of the Phoenix Suns here in Phoenix? What with all the trade rumors, and Kevin Garnett on the finish.
Could very well happen here, Marv, as a retaliation by Kobe Bryant. Blink of an eye and they score once again. But Marv, it could very well happen. Trade deadline is the 19th, and Steve Kerr is fielding a lot of different calls at this point in time.
29 to be exact.
Bryant not able to put it down. This is a 2-on-1 developing. The West does hustle back. Williams came up short, rebounded by Paul. Paul going behind the back and finds the trail of Brandon Roy. That leads to a timeout. And the other question, who will be the head coach of the Phoenix Suns? There are rumors that Terry Porter is in trouble. I know assistant Alvin Gentry has been mentioned.
Yeah, it's tough, Marv. It's this coaching business right now so volatile, and the team not doing well. A lot of speculation what's going to happen. Brandon Roy's Portland Trailblazers doing well, and he's doing well in this game as his team leads by 4.
Courtside, there's Hall of Famer Bill Russell, one of the great players in the history of the game, considered to be the cornerstone of the Boston Celtic dynasty. And you look over the years among Bill's achievements, 11-time NBA champion, voted one of the 50 greatest players, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1975, a 5-time most valuable player, 12-time All-Star, and in 1963 the All-Star Game MVP. And this weekend the league honored Russell by naming the NBA Finals MVP award after him. And just a moment ago, Boston's Big Three presenting Bill with a cake, a special moment here with the league continuing to honor Bill throughout the weekend. Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, Paul Pierce making the presentation. Bill will have to wait to eat the cake after the game.
Well, what a great honor. Get that trophy named after the greatest winner in this league. And what did he do when he gets to the podium? Yes, he was emotional, but wanted to thank his team. Always a team player, Marv.
And as Wade tries that little flip shot, draws the foul. Dwayne will go to the line. Foul is on Tim Duncan. Let's check in with David Aldridge.
We're here with Chris. We're here with Chris Bosh from the Toronto Raptors, injured, not playing today, but selected by the coaches to your All-Star team. Your thoughts being here this week?
Oh man, you know, it's always an honor to be an All-Star. It's always great to be here and hang out with these guys. You know, we've been laughing and just hanging out all weekend.
You had Muhammad Ali in the locker room before the game. What was that feeling like?
Oh man, he's the greatest. You know, that's one of the best, biggest sports icons of all time. And just to get to shake his hand and look into his eyes, it was very moving. I mean, he's been through a lot.
You got a new player coming into Toronto. Made the trade the other day, bringing Sean Marion in. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think Sean's really going to help us. Everybody knows we're struggling a little bit. We need some more wins, and we're trying to make a push for the playoffs. So, you know, I'm hoping he's going to come in and give us some help. You know, I hate to see JL go, but it's a part of the business, and you know, I guess we'll kick it in the summer.
Chris, thanks very much. Get healthy as soon as you can.
Appreciate it.
All right, Mark, back to you.
All right, David. Dwight Howard with the bucket. So the West now leads at 64-62. So Jermaine O'Neal, now a member of the Miami Heat. Stoudemire off the mark, rebounded by Howard. And Sean Marion is a Raptor.
I spoke with Jermaine right after the trade, and he was disappointed in leaving Toronto, but excited to get down to South Beach and have a chance to play with the Flash himself, that man right there, Dwayne Wade.
The major question with Jermaine O'Neal, all the injuries that he has been hit with. Amari Stoudemire is able to put it down. 8 points for Stoudemire.
Well, if he can stay healthy, he gives the Heat something that they haven't had since Shaquille was near. You know, someone's going to block shots, intimidate in the lane, and he's a pick and pop player. When you run that pick and roll with Dwayne Wade, you're going to get a lot of looks.
LeBron James from downtown. That's 10 points for LeBron. Here's Paul kicking it out. Bryant. This time Garnett closing on Bryant, not allowing the three. Ball with a post up.
Posting up Allen Iverson.
We're approaching a minute remaining in this first half. The steal by Bryant. 2-on-1. He has Stoudemire. Kind of a slow motion 2-on-1 fast break. Howard is called for the foul.
Kobe letting the play develop.
Second on Dwight Howard. There is Muhammad.
Met him on a few occasions, and you know, just to be in his presence,
yes.
Coach, I mean, it's mind-blowing. It's you start thinking of everything that he has gone through, and you know, he still puts on a brave face.
You know, Marv, I had a chance when I was playing for the Sixers as a young player. He lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and we were at a dinner together, and I sat next to him for about 4 hours. And all he did was draw pictures of Joe Frazier and just was talking the whole time. And I actually got an autograph. I said, would you sign this for my son, Chris, who was like 2 years old at the time, 3. I went to Chris's house recently, and we had it framed up in his room. It was pretty neat.
I had a different experience with Muhammad back in my boxing days at NBC. As Dwight Howard is fouled, he will head to the line. We actually visited his home to do a feature, and all he wanted to do, you know, he sees himself as an amateur magician.
Yes.
He kept saying, I can do levitation. And he was claiming he was doing it. I've yet to see it done. I don't know what was going through his mind. One of our staff members said, okay, I'm levitating. Never saw it. But he was a great host, and we really had a terrific time. He had a great sense of humor.
When people talk about true greatness, it's Muhammad Ali. True greatness.
West with a 68-67 lead. Final minute, first half. Nice play. Don't get on the hop for one. And the ball back to the West. Well, I was wrong about Bill Russell. No hesitation about getting to that cake.
When you got 11 rings, you can do whatever you want to do, Marv. You want some cake, he's going to eat some cake.
You know, I was thinking about, too, he was a player coach. You know, but I would coach if I could play like him, too. You'd be a player coach.
Pretty play. Nice reverse by Paul. Yes, Red Auerbach putting the team in his hands.
Yes. Be nice to be able to coach and be the best player at the same time.
Imagine these days being a player coach.
No.
Cannot happen.
I think a lot of players think they're doing that, but it's
some are.
Final seconds, first half. Usually teams did it to save money.
Yes, right.
Back in the 50s. And here is Paul. So that's the end of the first half. The West with a 72-67 lead. The West squad shooting 56% from the field. The High Point men, Paul Pierce, putting up 14 points in just 12 minutes. LeBron James with 10. Kobe Bryant leads the West with 13. 10 apiece for Amari Stoudemire and Pau Gasol. Let's go to Craig with Kobe.
Well, Kobe, you told us before the game, usually the intensity comes in the fourth quarter, but you guys came out from the very start, played a lot of defense, you put up a lot of shots. What was your focus going into the game?
Well, we all just want to come out and play. You know, just play, do what we do, and compete. I think that's what the fans really want to see. They want to see us get after it a little bit.
What was it like having Shaquille O'Neal as your teammate again, and what did you think of his dance with the Waka Jabbies?
Well, he's a great dancer. So I've seen that all before, and it was fun being out there with him again.
How important is it for you guys to take the ball down low, get into the paint with their speed and quickness?
Oh, it's very important. You know, we can't turn the ball over either. Turn the ball over and they're gone.
All right, thanks a lot. Kobe Bryant leading the West to a lead here at that intermission. But coming up, it's the T-Mobile Halftime Report, a live performance from John Legend and a special ring ceremony. Kobe Bryant and his Olympic teammates receiving special rings for winning the gold at the 2008 Beijing Summer Games.
Welcome to the T-Mobile Halftime Report, live from the site of the 58th NBA All-Star Game. T-Mobile, official telecommunications partner of the NBA.
Fans, please give a warm welcome to two-time NBA All-Star from the New Orleans Hornets, Chris Paul.
Good evening. I'm Chris Paul of the New Orleans Hornets. It is great to be here in Phoenix for NBA All-Star and to have a chance to give back to this community and to our fans. Through the NBA Cares program and through the personal charitable efforts of so many in the NBA family, we have a chance to help those in need here in the United States and in countries all over the world. We've been able to have our lives enriched as well. As NBA players, we know how important it is to give back to the people and communities who support us. And we are grateful that we can inspire hope, provide encouragement, and create change for the better. Basketball may be just a game played here on the court, but it can also bring people together in ways that extend far beyond our sport. It's our way of showing that the NBA and its players care.
It's just a game. You pass. You shoot. You score. It's simple, right?
It's just a game.
But sometimes it's more than that.
Much more.
Playing basketball makes me feel strong.
It gives me more confidence in myself.
It makes me want to be something in life. Basketball makes me feel healthy.
When I play basketball, it helps me make new friends.
And I love being part of a team.
Basketball brings us together.
It connects us.
And no matter where we come from, when we're on the court,
我们有着共同的语言。
We dream bigger.
We dream higher.
sometimes we win.
Sometimes we don't.
But no matter what,
You always have to work hard.
basketball teaches. It teaches us that even when there's no chance to win,
There's still an opportunity to be a hero.
It takes effort.
You have to practice. Practice real hard.
You have to practice dedication,
Teamwork.
sportsmanship, patience,
Unity.
and love. And if we can practice all those things to make our game better, can't we practice those things to make our world better?
Basketball is just a game.
But sometimes it's more than that.
Much more.
Those of us who grew up playing basketball, whether on a playground in the city or a farm in the heartland, are grateful to the game for the lessons it teaches us about life. Lessons like respect is something won by what you do, not what you're born with. Or you can talk a good game all you want, but when it matters, you better back it up. Or if you want to marry a girl like my wife Michelle, you better be able to impress her brother on the basketball court. Tonight, we celebrate individual excellence, but we remember that throughout the game's history, its greatest players, its champions, are those who don't just perfect their own game, but make those around them better, who unite one team around one shared goal. They know a simple truth that's as relevant today as ever. In America, we rise and fall together. In this time of so much need in our communities and across our country, we are blessed with endless ways to restore hope and opportunity to places that yearn for both. Prepare a care package for a soldier, read to a child, or fix up a local basketball court so the next generation can play and grow. I encourage everyone to join the NBA in the spirit of service to others. Just log on to usaservice.org to find or create a project near you. Then gather up some friends and lace them up. All of us have it within our power to get off the bench, get in the game, and make a lasting contribution to the life of this nation. I hope you all answer the call and join in the vital work of remaking this country we love. Thank you.
As President Obama said, we rise and fall together. And the NBA Cares program is just one way we can make a lasting contribution. And in that spirit, please welcome multi-Grammy Award winners John Legend and Juanes.
If you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, calling every man. We're a generation we can't afford to wait. The future started yesterday, and we're already late. We've been looking for a song to sing, search for a melody, search for someone to lead. We've been looking for the world to change. You feel the same. Go on and say, if you're out there, sing along with me. If you're out there, I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and sing it loud. If you're out there, tomorrow's starting now. Más promesas rotas, la guerra se agotó. Amor y paz son el mejor antídoto contra el dolor. Acabemos con el hambre, el odio y el temor. Levántate y pon tu voz, ayúdame a cantar. I've been looking for a song to sing, buscando melodías, y el líder hoy está en mi corazón. We've been looking for the world to change, un mundo diferente. Ayúdame a entender si tú estás ahí. Únete a mi voz. If you're out there, I'm dying to believe. Si tú estás ahí, es el tiempo de los dos. If you're out there, tomorrow's starting now. Now, now. Oh, now. Hey, now. If you're ready, we can shake the world. Believe again. Start today. No tenemos que esperar hasta el fin. El momento es ahora de poderlo hacer si tú estás ahí. If you're out there and you're ready now, sing it loud, scream it out. If you're out there, sing along with me. If you're out there, I'm dying to believe that you're out there. Stand up and say it loud. If you're out there, tomorrow's starting now. If you hear this message, wherever you stand, I'm calling every woman, calling every man. We're the generation can't afford to wait. Come on, come on, come on. The beat is getting stronger. The music's getting longer too. I wanna take it
Let's hear it for the Pilgrim Rest Choir, Juanes and John Legend.
This copyrighted telecast of the NBA may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used without the written consent of the NBA. Log on to NBA.com immediately following the game for live press conferences and video highlights.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the video board for a special Beijing Summer Games presentation. This summer, the NBA and WNBA were well represented as the greatest basketball players from around the world competed in the Summer Games in Beijing, China. The USA basketball men's and women's senior national teams went undefeated in their respective competitions, winning the gold medal and cementing their historic runs in Beijing forever. Throughout the games, a record 81 current and former NBA and WNBA players competed. 4 current NBA players had the honor of representing their country as flag bearer during the opening ceremony. An unprecedented 37 current NBA and WNBA players took home medals. And now, joining us at center court, please welcome the NBA players who proudly represented their native countries at the Summer Games in Beijing. From the host country of China, Yao Ming. From Germany, Dirk Nowitzki. Representing the bronze medal team from Argentina, Luis Scola. Representing the silver medal team from Spain, Pau Gasol and Marc Gasol. Let's have another round of applause for all our 2008 Summer Games international participants. And now, the members of the gold medal teams from the United States. On behalf of USA Basketball Chairman Jerry Colangelo, is pleased to present each participant with a ring signifying their outstanding achievements in Beijing. Most recently, the president of USA Basketball, who oversaw our men's and women's national team programs from 2005 to 2008, Val Ackerman. Representing the women's gold medal team, Lisa Leslie. And Tina Thompson. Representing the men's gold medal team, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. Now, please turn your attention to the video board for a special message from U.S. Men's Senior National Team head coach Mike Krzyzewski.
Congratulations, guys, on the mission accomplished, winning the gold medal and receiving your rings today. The rings are never ending. They're a symbol of our brotherhood that we developed and shared in order to accomplish our mission. And that mission was not only to win the gold medal, but to win the respect of our own country and of the world. It was an honor, a true honor, to be a part of that team. Thanks, guys.
And now, the architect of the U.S. Men's Senior National Team and chairman of USA Basketball, Jerry Colangelo.
Thank you. I just want to personally congratulate everyone up on this platform for doing an incredible job. The men's team in particular had a big job to do. We kind of called ourselves the Redeem Team. They made a major commitment, a 3-year commitment, to change the culture and change how people looked upon us as Americans and as athletes and basketball people around the world. And I can only tell you, the moment that the Star-Spangled Banner was being played, the gold medals being passed out, and the national anthem being played, it was a moment of total fulfillment. And I think we all shared in that moment. And we owe a great deal of gratitude to this group of athletes on this stage. So let's give them another great hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for all our 2008 Summer Games participants.
We welcome you back to the T-Mobile Halftime Report. Hey, text My Shot to 72579. Enter for a chance to play D-Wade at the Eastern Conference Finals in a T-Mobile version of Horse for a chance at 50,000 clams.
I could get
for more information, go to T-Mobile.com/NBA. What would happen if you did that with D-Wade?
It's going to be close in Horse.
Hey, how great a moment was this in the first half of this game when Bill Russell, his 75th birthday was earlier this week, and his Celtics presenting him with the cake.
I was going to say, surprise, the big three are presenting him with the cake. So that's a great honor, man.
Yeah, without question.
And already this week, the NBA Finals MVP trophy renamed in honor of Bill Russell. Welcome, Ernie Johnson and Kenny the Jet Smith and Chris Webber. Thoughts on the first half of what you've seen in what is a 72-67 West lead over the East?
Oh, well, I thought it was a very intense game. And when I saw this, look at the heartbeat, boom, boom. And when I saw Big Shaq, me and Kenny would laugh when he came out. But what I like about this game is I see intensity. I see the guys are really playing hard, which sometimes doesn't cause for the most alley-oops and the most dunks. But these guys are playing hard, and I expect some excitement in the second half.
Yeah, I agree with Chris totally. The one thing, the tone was set at the start of the game. On the introductions, LeBron James energy with the Eastern Conference, telling guys, let's go, let's play. And then his first 2 plays, he went to the basket and really made things happen.
Hey, the East led by 12, and then the West put a 19-0 run on them. 19-0 in an All-Star game is saying something.
But you know what's funny? You know who started that? Shaq.
Yeah, he did.
Shaq was the main one. And me and Kenny looked at each other like, is he going to try to get the MVP here?
Well, we're going into pictures, and we're going to talk about intensity in an All-Star game. What you see, this is the first play of the game. He's going down the lane. That's not a trick shot. Right. And then all of a sudden he says, I'm going to find an open man, and here it is again. Because normally he would have taken that shot in an All-Star game. But then what I see is the pressure, the ball pressure by Chris Paul, the ball pressure by everyone. That's the difference in this All-Star game and any other All-Star game I've seen in the last. Look at the full court pressure. When's the last time you've seen someone get a backcourt foul in the first quarter in an NBA All-Star game? And it's Shaq throwing a long outlet pass to Tony Parker for a layup. Now that's intensity for an All-Star game.
And so if we're seeing that in the first half of an All-Star game, then that bodes well for the third and fourth quarters of this one.
I think we're in the midst of a real position change in the NBA. We have so many young stars right now. I like seeing it because a lot of guys are wrestling and jostling for that position of who's going to be the king. I mean, like you said, we saw LeBron warming up. We saw Kobe warming up. It was like a game sweat going, so it's going to be good in the second half.
Paul Pierce has 14 points to lead everybody. Only 2 players haven't scored. Yao Ming on the west side and Joe Johnson for the East. You saw Shaq come out dancing with Jabberwocky at the beginning, but, well, I think Craig Sager had it a little bit backwards when he talked to Kobe at halftime. Listen up.
What was it like having Shaquille O'Neal as your teammate again, and what did you think of his dance with the Waka Jabbies, Waka Jabbies, Waka Jabbies, Waka Jabbies, Waka Jabbies?
Hey, you know what?
Kind of
you can't, you can't blame him. You can't blame Jabberwockies. See, Craig's kids aren't old enough to know who the Jabberwockies are. I don't think.
It's not. He's swaggerless anyway.
Yeah. Shaq did his thing.
This was an MVP performance during the intros by the big fella.
Is that like the Eddie Murphy movie, Section Chocolate?
that boy can dance. That boy can dance.
We're coming back. Second half is on the horizon here in the Valley of the Sun, the 58th All-Star Game on TNT.
You've been watching the T-Mobile Halftime Report, live from the site of the 58th NBA All-Star Game. T-Mobile, official telecommunications partner of the NBA.
Welcome back to the Valley of the Sun, the 58th NBA All-Star Game at the U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix. 72-67, West leading the East as we head to the second half. Marv Albert, Reggie Miller, and Doug Collins. What a second quarter. A total of 78 points scored in the second quarter. And the West, Red, shoots a sizzling 56%, and at one point they had a 19-0 run.
And I think it really started with Kobe Bryant almost setting a record in that first quarter for shots attempted. It was 5 of 10, ended 6 of 13 for 13 points. But how about Chris Paul? Only 2 points, but 8 assists. They got to continue to get points in the paint. They're a plus 22, 50 points in the paint.
And Doug, the East not shy about firing away from three-point range.
Well, with their lack of size, Mark, we saw a lot of times where they had 4 perimeter guys with 1 big, and it's 6 of 20. So, I mean, if they're going to win the game, they're going to have to start making shots, obviously, because of the superior size Reggie talked about in the paint for the West. But I think that Mike Brown has positioned himself pretty nicely here for LeBron and Wade to play big second halves.
The high point men in the game. Kobe with 13. Stoudemire has 10. 14 points for Paul Pierce and 10 for LeBron James. The East shooting at 47%. We talked about the 6 of 20 from downtown. You see points in the paint as Doug touched on, 50-28 in favor of the West, and 20 assists for the Western Conference squad on 30 field goal attempts. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, I talked to Phil Jackson. He said he did get great production from his bench. However, the starters deserved to play. They were the ones voted on by the fans. So he's going to start the starting 5 that he had at the beginning of the game and play them the majority of the minutes in the second half. He said we are encouraging the East to take those threes. He says the more they take, the happier we are. And yes, we will continue to pound the ball into the paint to take advantage of our height. Now over to David Aldridge.
Well, Craig, you know, Mike Brown says in the second half we may see a little bit of zone. Wants to shake things up a little bit. Kevin Garnett just told me he's good for about 5 or 6 good hard minutes, and then he might be done for the night. Mike Brown also said Danny Granger and Allen Iverson in the second half, a little wear and tear for both of them coming into the All-Star game. He may limit their minutes somewhat in the second half. Otherwise, everybody else is good to go. Marv?
All right, guys, Mike Brown has his Cleveland Cavaliers at 40-11, second best record in the East behind Boston, and has been a defensive geared coach. Even though this is an all-star game, you see 72 points up on the board at halftime. That does not feel good. West ball as we get underway in the third quarter. Yao Ming on that hook coming up short, and back comes Iverson. Iverson challenging Yao, and the ball back to the West.
Well, when you got a 6'1" guy challenging a 7'3" guy, kind of throw it over the backboard extension, I guess the 7'3" guy wins.
And the West opens up with Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant in the backcourt. Tim Duncan, Yao Ming, and Amari Stoudemire up front. This is the starting lineup. Phil Jackson going back to it. Here is Yao. And that is his first field goal.
Well, Phil Jackson told us before the game that Yao Ming really only wanted to play about the first 6 minutes of the game and the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. You see, they're going to him early, I think, maybe to get some production, and then he's probably going to be through here rather quickly.
LeBron James, yes, and the foul. And notice the guys stepping out of the way. You do not want to get hit by LeBron.
Well, you don't want to get hit, but you also don't want to get dunked on. Right here, nice body and air control. Gets up in the air, switches hand, a la Michael Jordan.
That reminds me of the NBA Finals, the Game 2, Lakers and the Bulls, and the call by Marvelous, a spectacular move by Jordan.
Commercial.
Thank you very much.
Marv Albert.
Stoudemire was called on that foul on LeBron, and then Amari getting a piece of the glass.
Well, that's what you're seeing a lot from him this year, the pick and pop game, and he's been a little bit turnover prone and shot happy from that perimeter, and I think that's one of the things that has disappointed these Phoenix fans this year is him not playing in the paint as much.
LeBron lost it on the deflection, and Paul able to finish. The West with a 78-70 lead. Just getting underway here in the third. Garnett, the big ticket in his 12th All-Star game, now has 10 points. Bryant being played tightly by Wade. Bryant able to recover and scores. But as we mentioned earlier, you see players defending, which you don't often see in all-star competition.
Well, it was a high-scoring first half, but it was competitive. It wasn't like guys were running down and just dunking. I mean, guys were making shots, guys were making an attempt, and that's what made this very much a fun game to watch today.
Not exactly intensive defensive play, but at least there you see another block shot as Yao was stopped by Howard.
You gotta understand, these are the same guys that won a gold medal as Dwayne Wayne pulls up for three. They won a gold medal over in Beijing, so there's a lot of familiarity with each other, and defense was their staple.
All right, here's Stoudemire, got the step. Amari Stoudemire, averaging 21 a game for the Suns. And as we touched on earlier, the subject of much trade speculation. Iverson. The box out by Stoudemire. Ball played by Iverson. Duncan being guarded by James. And here's Duncan, rejected, but that's a goaltend. Dwight Howard looking for the block, and the basket will count.
This is the Amari Stoudemire the people here in Phoenix love. The guy who drives that ball to the basket with his spectacular finishes. But, you know, in fairness to him, with Shaquille O'Neal in that post, there's not nearly as much space down there. The Suns are not nearly as good a three-point shooting team, so that lane has collapsed this year on them, unlike in the past with Mike D'Antoni with all those three-point shooters, and that lane was wide open.
LeBron being played by Stoudemire. Garnett set the pick. Howard adjusting for the bucket, and he was fouled.
You see the look on Yao Ming's face. I mean, this game is so fast for him. I thought it was interesting. He was talking about the game, and he said, you know what? This game is just too fast for me. I feel like I'm doing a running test out there. And so you could see that they're just not quick enough to get over and move his feet. And in fairness to him, this is a guy who's put a lot of miles on that body. He had the broken foot last year, missed time, did play for the China team over in Beijing, which was a spectacular day to watch him play. There's a steal here by Wade.
Wade with the wide open shot, try to go glass, rebounded by Yao, and he is fouled by Garnett.
But Yao Ming, you know, as big as he is, you have to be so careful about those stress fractures. He's had all kinds of problems with his feet, and Houston being very, very careful with him today, talking to Phil Jackson about please limiting his minutes.
Yes, he's been injury prone the last 3 years, and that major injury, stress fracture in his left foot. Nice touch by Paul, and the concern with Yao has to be, can his feet support a 7'6", 310-pound player throughout an 82-game season?
Well, remember, Zydrunas Ilgauskas went through about a 4-year period almost with the same kind of injury, and was almost missed 4 full seasons.
James with a long three-point attempt. The West in possession. They lead by 12. Bryant for 3.
I like the way he stared down Dwight Howard right there. Gave him a little ball fake, freeze him a little bit, and just rise up.
Wade with the open 3. It's a 3-on-2 for the West. Paul goes all the way. Very close to a travel. Looked like he was going to give it up to Bryant on the wing.
Well, you can see what's interesting about this Western team's defense. I mean, they're just packing the paint. You have all these slashers and cutters and just defending at the basket, not shooting a good percentage from 3. But Kobe Bryant sort of looking at his teammate Dwight Howard. They got the beautiful championship rings at halftime, and saying, you're out of your vicinity out here behind this three-point line. Get back in the paint.
Foul on Howard is 3rd. Don't miss all new episodes of TNT's hit series Leverage, Tuesdays at 10, 9 Central, only on TNT. Amari Stoudemire, an 83% free throw shooter. First player to go straight from high school for the NBA to be named Rookie of the Year. Now LeBron James and Dwight Howard followed up on that.
He's going to have to start making some shots, especially from three-point range. They don't have the size, they have the speed, but they got to make some outside shots.
Biggest lead of the night for the West. Strong move by Wade to get inside. He has 11. Ball using the pick. Iverson able to stay with him. Stoudemire trying to split his way through, and the ball's deflected away. 10 on the shot clock. The West in possession. The East has won 3 of the last 4 in All-Star play. They won last year in New Orleans. LeBron James taking MVP honors, and the ball back to the East. For LeBron, his second All-Star Most Valuable Player award, won it in Houston back in 2006. James looking to set things up, now being played on a switch by Yao. I think LeBron liked that matchup and then forced to give it up. Yao stays with him.
Well, Yao moving his feet.
Garnett from James.
Well, you had 5 defensive players from the West all back in the paint right there. There was no place for LeBron to go, and Kobe is feeling it from behind that three-point line. There's that soft rim that Marv spoke about in the first half. We saw that with Paul Pierce earlier, this time by Kobe Bryant.
21 points for Bryant. That was his 3rd from three-point land. Oh, James with the reverse. LeBron James going glass. 93-80, West on top. We're halfway through the 3rd quarter. Bryant with a long three-point attempt. Yao going for the steal and a foul as he and Howard come together. Foul is on Yao Ming. And a timeout is taken. So Yao picks up his 2nd. Kobe Bryant now with 21 points. LeBron James 6 of 12. He has 15.
Phoenix was one of the people who took part in that. Paul Pierce of the Celtics. What was that like to build some?
It was great. You know, that's something that the NBA implemented during All-Star Weekend, where we can lend a helping hand when we get in, and you can see it in the kids' faces. They really enjoy us coming out there, helping out, and doing the things we can do in the community.
So how surprised were they when they saw you guys coming out with hammers and shovels and they're sitting there getting ready to do some work?
Hey, we do work too. You know, it's not all about basketball. It's about giving back, and that's what we try to do to the community.
It's been a lot of years for All-Star games for you. How are you enjoying this one with your 2 Celtics teammates?
I'm enjoying it more than ever because, you know, it is my 7th All-Star game, but I always treat it like it's my 1st. And to be able to share it with 2 guys that's on my team, it's an honor.
Paul, thanks very much. Great first half. Maybe see you back out there.
All right, baby.
All right, back to you, Marv.
Thank you, David. Last season's MVP of the NBA Finals, averaging 22 a game against the Lakers, Paul Pierce. And that's a 3-pointer for Mo Williams, who now has 10. The West up by 10, just under 5 to go in this 3rd quarter. Bryant with the step and hits on the reverse.
Now, Kobe came out early in this game with that big first quarter, and he just kept it up the entire way. This is skip pass from Mo Williams that went off the fingertips of LeBron James.
Shaquille O'Neal back on the floor for the West. Paul lost the handle, was deflected out of bounds. Danny Granger, Ray Allen have checked back in for the East.
Little hesitation move there by Kobe. Takes the ball to the other side of the rim to get away from the shot blocker and finishes nicely.
Shaq being played by Howard.
Clear him out there, Shaq.
Well, he throws it back the other way. Wisely. Paul knocks it down and assists for Shaq.
Thought he was going to cross over Dwight Howard right there. Allen Iverson style.
Shaq creating for Chris Paul on that play.
Williams for Howard. Mo Williams pulling one out of the playbook of the probing Steve Nash. Foul on Paul. Shaquille O'Neal in his 15th All-Star appearances, second all-time to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, followed by Jerry West, Karl Malone, and Michael Jordan.
In some of those appearances, Shaq was hurt and didn't actually participate, but was voted on. One of the great all-time dominant big men. You could obviously one across from us in Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal.
A member of 4 NBA championship teams, 3 with the Lakers and the one with Miami, and a 2-time All-Star game MVP.
And the young man Dwight Howard at the free throw line, working with one of the all-time great players, Patrick Ewing, down in Orlando.
Oh, beautifully done as Paul went between the legs to set it up for O'Neal.
Shaq knows how to have fun.
Allen's pass broken up. Bryant slipping it to O'Neal.
Oh, yes.
And that's kicked out of bounds by Howard.
Look at Phil Jackson and Frank Hamlin over on that bench on the West bench, just laughing. Kurt Rambis, Brian Shaw. Look at Kurt Rambis. Say, Shaq, get back into that triangle into the low post.
Now Tim Duncan sits down. Chauncey Billups back on the floor. So Bryant, Billups, and Paul, along with Shaq and Stoudemire. Shot clock down to 5. They double up on Shaq, and he is right inside. He had the mismatch, yes.
Yeah. Danny thought about fouling, but he was like, I don't know if I can get my arms around Shaq.
And Shaquille O'Neal with his 4th dunk of the game. He now has 12 points, 6 of 7 overall.
Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal. We saw this many a times in Los Angeles, and Danny Granger thought about fouling him, trying to wrap him up, but I don't think that would have done him any good, Coach.
No, well, you could see again with the East, they're just so undersized that, you know, Rashard Lewis out there against Shaq, he's going to have to make 3-point shots. And as Phil Jackson said, he's encouraging the East to continue to fire from out there. And again, the difference in points in the paint, I mean, 66 points in the paint for the West, 38 for the, so plus 28. And on top of that, the West have plus 9 on fast break. So you got a bigger lineup out there. You're winning the paint, and you're also getting out on the fast break and are plus 9. So right now the West is having their way.
West now over the foul limit by virtue of that foul by O'Neal. Tony Parker of the Spurs back on the floor. Well, Williams saying, who has Billups? Chauncey working his way into the corner wide open, and he still is as Bryant takes to the rim. And again, it is O'Neal doing some push-ups.
We don't want him to tear the basket down here. Not today. He did that once in here in Phoenix a long time ago when he was playing with the Magic.
Nice move by Ray Allen. Yeah, that was a delightful day. We were doing the national telecast, and it was much work for sideline reporters as again O'Neal is able to stuff to kill the time, allowing the maintenance crew here to get a new backboard and rim.
It wasn't Shaq proof. Now they're all Shaq proof. So we think.
Well, he pulled it down. The stanchion came down. Remember, Marv, he didn't tear down the backboard. The backboard was still intact. The basket just collapsed. I mean, the backboard was actually sitting down on the floor.
Shaq now 8 of 9, 16 points, and 6 of those shots have been dunks. Pierce misfired on a 3, kept alive by Allen. On the back tap, Mo Williams. Tried the look-away pass, deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the West.
Well, Shaq, as we saw when the starters and reserve was introduced, rapping and dancing, you see right here the bounce pass right through the legs of Howard and the nice finish by the big cactus. Now you see me, and now you don't. The big Diesel with the finish, with the king loving it.
The 2009 NBA All-Star Game on TNT, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you by Knowing, in theaters March 20th.
Get up, y'all. Y'all. Yo tip. Yo tip. Get the tip. Get the tip. Oh yeah, B-Roy. Oh yeah, B-Roy. Get this thing at least 10 by halftime. All right? You want to act like you coming up here, jump on this side, change it. Then I'm coming off butt naked and I got all them wide open.
You talk about Chris Paul, the true point guard, leading, telling them we want to be up by 10. Now they're up by 20.
And this is the biggest lead of the night. Coming up on 1.5 minutes remaining in the third. A long three-point attempt from Joe Johnson, rebounded by Tony Parker. The West 17 of 22 from the field here in the third. As Billups goes wide on that one.
You know, you see Joe Johnson, who's had such a great year for the Atlanta Hawks, who are playing very, very well. You know, Marv, he has not played well in this building since he has gone to Atlanta. I don't know if he's, you know, comes in here and greater expectations or whatever, but even as a member of the Hawks today, he's not shot the ball well. And I don't know if he puts a lot of pressure on himself to perform better here because he was once here a member of this team.
Here's Shaq getting inside, and he is fouled, so Shaq will head to the line. Joe Johnson has missed on his 3 shot attempts. Originally a first-round pick of the Celtics, and following his days with Boston, acquired by Phoenix, spent 4 years with the Suns, and then traded to the Hawks in the deal involving Boris Diaw, a couple of draft picks, and he has been thriving in Atlanta. Well, you can vote for the game that you want to see on NBA TV. Special fan night voting extends through tonight's All-Star game, and results will be announced on a special episode of Inside the NBA on NBA TV following the NBA All-Star game. There's a brick thrown up by.
Oh, that's a shocker.
And Wednesday on ESPN, it's Orlando at New Orleans, followed by the Lakers at Golden State. Next Sunday on ABC, the Celtics and the Suns from Phoenix. And Shaq will head back to the line.
You know, Mark, just to follow a bit of that Joe Johnson story, this week on one of the radios here in Phoenix, Robert Sarver, who owns the Phoenix Suns, basically came out and said, you know, I made a mistake. We should have re-signed Joe Johnson the year before he became that free agent. They had a chance to sign him to a $50 million deal. Decided to let him become a free agent, and he decided then to go on to Atlanta. There's Robert Sarver. He ended up signing a 5-year, $70 million deal in Atlanta, and how that Atlanta team now, he went through some lean times, Marl, like you talked about, but that's a very young and exciting team that took the Boston Celtics to 7 games last year in the first round of the playoffs.
Shaq now 1 of 4 at the line. Pierce lost it. Recovered by Lewis. Shaq has to be considered in the running for MVP honors the way things are going here.
Well, he's in the running, especially he's out here guarding point guards the last 3 or 4 possessions.
Well, we see that often where, you know, a guy plays on his home court and guys really work to get him the ball. We've seen it through the years where the local guys have been the MVPs.
There's Parker running out on the 3, and it's Shaq showing the lively legs. It was not thought that he would get as many minutes. Parker again from downtown, but Shaq missed his first field goal attempt, but since then he's hit 8 in a row as his third quarter comes to a close. The West 110 and the East 91. Fans, you can vote for the All-Star Game MVP during the fourth quarter of this game by logging on to NBA.com or by texting your vote to 38657. It's the West 110 and the East 91. You're watching the 58th NBA All-Star Game on TNT. Another decisive quarter for the West. They outscore the East in the third, 38-24, and they have that 110-91 lead as we head to the fourth. In this 2009 NBA All-Star Game is Dodger manager, controversial author Joe Torre, actor/comedian Chris Tucker, as we check the star-studded crowd, including Terrell Owens of the Dallas Cowboys,
MVP of the Celebrity Game,
John King, and Dana Bash from CNN, and Eva Longoria Parker, or Reggie and Doug, as you know her, Mrs. Solis from Desperate Housewives.
Gabrielle?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Both of you guys know that. See, I did not know that.
That's one of my favorite shows. I do not miss it.
Okay. Who knew?
Reggie just not on the cutting edge here in terms of important cultural events.
Wow.
Well, you can see that zone defense that Phil Jackson talked about playing. That's basically what they're doing. Anytime that ball goes to the wing, they just load up the floor. It's a zone, no place really to go. It's Brandon Roy takes his eye off the ball, and at the third quarter, Marv, only 2 turnovers for the West.
Mo Williams off the mark, but Rashard Lewis is right there. Both teams have made changes. Pau Gasol is back along with Dirk Nowitzki, Brandon Roy, Phillips, and Parker in the backcourt.
See if the East, they're going to switch everything, and they can try to make a little spurt here, get back in this game.
Nowitzki. Rashard Lewis has returned. Mo Williams at the point. Here's Allen. So Ray Allen on the reverse. He has 8 points.
Ray Allen's having a terrific year, a much more efficient year than he had last year. He even talked about that. His shooting is up, his three-point shooting, his free throw shooting second in the NBA. He said his goal every year, Reggie, and you would appreciate this as a shooter, 50% from the field as Tony Parker knocks down a jumper, but 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line. He never has that in his.
And Ray and Reggie are the only 2 players in NBA history to hit 2,000 plus three-pointers. Ray with 2,100. Reggie apparently slipped one in earlier. 2,560, I guess, including the 2 you hit tonight.
I guess so.
Yeah.
They were almost teammates, too.
Oh, see, that's how rumors get started,
They were
Coach.
almost teammates.
That's how rumors get started, Coach.
Well, Doc Rivers had checked you out on a couple of occasions, although Danny Ainge disputed it. He said, no, he's really talking about your sister, Cheryl.
Yes, we look alike.
Here's the lob. Oh, Brandon Roy from Tony Parker.
You know, he's a sneaky leaper.
Yes, he is.
You know, when you watch him, you don't think he gets up that high, and then all of a sudden you see him finishing against these bigger players.
Williams. Oh, Williams dead on with that shot. 116-99. The West on top. Parker trying to go behind the back, and it's last touched by Lewis. Let's go to Craig.
Well, with me is Phoenix Suns season ticket holder, Arizona Senator John McCain with his wife Cindy. And who's your favorite All-Star out there, and what's impressed you in the game so far?
So far, it's got to be Shaq. I think he's trying to prove to everybody that he's still the MVP. Missed his first shot, and then I think made the next 8. Nobody's stopping him.
You're doing a good job. You could be our stat man. Terry Porter apparently was informed tonight that he will not be the coach of the Phoenix Suns tomorrow. They're going to replace him. When Senator Obama, now President Obama, said that he wanted to change, I don't think he was talking about your Phoenix Suns. What's happened to this proud franchise?
Well, I think they're lacking in the chemistry, but we wish Terry Porter well. He's a great guy, and we wish him. He's a great coach. We wish him well.
All right, thanks a lot. Now that you have more time in your hands, with all due respect, maybe you can help break the ship to the Phoenix Suns.
Maybe so, but I don't know if they need help from a politician.
Thanks a lot. Back to you, Marv.
Well put.
He must be listening to your telecast, Marv, throwing out the stats that you just had spoke up.
Apparently he's keeping score.
Why don't we switch him and Paul out? Paul, why don't you go over there and sit next to Cindy and Eva and have the senator come on over here?
Politicians are always polling numbers. Electoral college, popular vote, all the numbers.
Reggie lashing out our statistician Paul Evans, who was in tears, depressed. Nowitzki able to knock it down. The West now leads 118-99. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Pretty pass. Devin Harris from Mo Williams.
Marv, you see Devin Harris on a nightly basis. What has impressed you the most about Devin Harris this year?
The dazzling speed with the ball. The way he and Vince Carter have played together so effectively as Parker is able to hit, and the consistency of Harris. Just had perhaps a one off period when he was battling injuries, but he's had a tremendous year. A timeout call. 120, 101 the score. The West on top, and Benny the Bull has found a new friend, Spike Lee.
I don't know about that.
Spike,
Benny, what are you doing?
Does not look thrilled.
Put the top hat on, Spike.
Oh! Why you want to do me like that? 8 games in a row with a steal? Makes sense, huh?
Don't do it. Don't do it, coach. Hit him on the wing. Shay, catch it on the wing. Catch it on the wing and work out Dwight.
Shaq got 12. Uh-oh.
Oh, Chris Paul orchestrating the foolery of Dwight Howard of Superman through the legs. Shaq going baseline and finishing. These guys had a lot of fun this summer over in Beijing, bringing home the gold medal, getting those nice rings at halftime.
Those are beautiful rings.
LeBron spinning his way. That'll count at a foul.
How about that degree of difficulty?
I think Mike Brown's probably thinking, all right, we've got 7:36 left. I'm going to put LeBron James in and see if we can make a quick run. Nice little pearl move in the lane, using the glass.
You know, if you put that to music, it'd be like a ballet dancer. Look at that footwork there, just going around, the body control, off the glass. Just a beautiful play by LeBron James.
Foul committed by David West. 3-point play, so the East now down 120, 104. Parker being played by Harris. Gasol sets the screen.
Why did Dwight Howard want to take on all these little guys out on the perimeter? A while ago, Kobe hitting for a three.
And West able to stuff. And here's Harris spinning and then gets it down low. Foul is called as Wade took the hit. But Wayne will go to the line. Foul is on Gasol. Let's check in with Craig Sager, who has worked his way onto the West bench. Craig.
Well, Shaq, you actually turned this game around when you went in there. You made 8 of your 9 shots, 17 points, dribbling between your legs, give and goes. Where are you getting all the energy today?
I had to admit to my man Cole and B. Shaw, felt like flashbacks. Every time I go down, Cole tell me, go to work. So I felt like 99 to 02? Yeah, felt like back then. 03, 04.
You guys really haven't spent a lot of time since the team was broken up. Are you enjoying being Kobe's teammate again and making friendship, renewing your friendship?
You know, we never had a large friendship. Never had that, you know. Respect is there. You know, he has beautiful daughters. I got beautiful kids. Every time we see each other, you know, it's friendly and all that. Everything was done purposely.
There could be a rivalry today, though. One of you two could be running for MVP. Who should get it?
I'm just glad to be here, brother. I'm glad to be here at the tender age of 37. I can remember last year when I wasn't here, and, you know, people said I was done. So I'm just happy to be here.
Thanks a lot. That was a terrific dance you did during intros.
Thank you. That was freestyle off the top. My new name is the Big Jabberwocky.
Big Cactus and the Big Jabberwockies. Back to you, Mark.
Well, all is peaceful now if you listen to Shaquille O'Neal, although yesterday in an interview with Craig Sager, both admitted, yes, we had our ups and downs. I know Shaq a week ago said it was all a media ploy. There was never any problem, but that is obviously not the case.
Well, Kobe said the other day, I don't even want to revisit that at this particular time. So, I mean, I think that they're both sort of taking the high road right now. Most important thing, they're having fun out here today, and that's what it's all about.
This taking place during pregame warm-ups. We'll be back to Phoenix in a moment. It is time for the shot of the night, presented by Burger King's BK Burger Shots.
Well, who other than the Diesel? Look at the Dwight Howard. Talk a little trash here to Shaquille. Like the Harlem Globetrotters between the legs, the give and go. Chris Paul in the post, a little give and go, and the Diesel. Or the big cactus or the big Jabberwocky or whatever. I mean, he finishes and is having fun today.
The West in possession. They have a 124-108 lead, just under 6 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Marv Albert, Reggie Miller, Doug Collins, David Aldridge, and Craig Sager working the sidelines for this 58th NBA All-Star game. Kobe Bryant. So Kobe now has 25. He's 11 of 20. Got off to the fast start. In fact, attempted 10 shots in that first quarter.
Game just comes easy to Kobe. It doesn't matter if this is an all-star game, a pickup game, or he's playing for the Lakers. There's some players where the game just comes easy to them.
Well, he's got great talent, obviously, and he's strong-willed, but he's also the most fundamentally sound player in the game right now, too.
And here's Bryant getting it over the outstretched arm of Dwight Howard. Wade has to give it back. Johnson putting a move on Roy is stripped. Here's Bryant with James back, and Bryant shoots for three. LeBron with the rebound. And LeBron looks to go all the way, switching hands in midair, but came up short. Paul, beautiful skip dribble.
You talk about the game looking easy. You know, he had a quote the other day. He said, you know, the NBA game is easier for him than the college game because of the three-point line and how much more spacing you have, and he can get to his place easier on the floor. I thought that was an interesting comment.
And nice numbers for Chris Paul. 10 points, 10 assists. Devin Harris way off. Howard able to keep it alive, so Dwight Howard has 11.
Let's see if the East can utilize that three-point line. A little bit over 4 minutes left in this game.
They're 1 for 11 in the second half.
Another assist for Paul, setting it up for Gasol. Kobe Bryant making a late run to capture the MVP award.
See the zone once again, just loading up the floor, forcing them to either drive and take a mid-range shot or take that long three. No place to go in that paint. And here's Dwight Howard showing Stan Van Gundy that Patrick Ewing is working on his range. So pick and pop now for the Orlando Magic.
He was looking for three-point territory, but had the foot on the line. David West able to slam it.
Dwight Howard starts taking that shot, they will be one and done in the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be tough for them without Jameer Nelson. He's been such a big part of that team. We'll see whether he can come back or not this year. Joe Johnson's still looking for that first hoop, if I'm not mistaken. There's Jameer Nelson. What a tragic thing for that young guy to get injured. He's such a big part of this team, this Orlando Magic.
Gasol with the follow. And Nelson out with that shoulder injury, dislocated shoulder.
Well, that's one of those injuries too, as you see Devin Harris on that backside where, you know, you might rehab it, but you jerk it the wrong way and it goes right back out of joint, and you're right back and then needs surgery. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does.
Just under 3 minutes to play. 136-114. The West with the lead as Bryant backs it up on Howard. Looks to go through him and lost it. Howard got the hand out and took the dribble away.
Now he wants to take Kobe.
Try to go to the crossover. That did not work well.
When good things go bad right there for Dwight Howard. Did he really think he was going to cross over one of the premier defensive perimeter players in Kobe Bryant?
on a beautiful 62-degree night here in Phoenix, Arizona. We welcome you back. The West with a 136-114 lead on the East in the closing minutes of the NBA All-Star game. And at center court just a moment ago, Shaquille O'Neal passing the torch to Dirk Nowitzki. The 2010 NBA All-Star Weekend will be held in the Dallas metro area, February 12th through the 14th. American Airlines Center will host Friday and Saturday's events. And the brand new Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Arlington will host the 59th NBA All-Star game. And 2010 NBA All-Star Weekend will be televised exclusively here on TNT.
Now, I think I read something the other day when we were in Dallas that Mark Cuban said he hopes to have 100,000 people at that game.
Wow. Capacity will be in that area. Stoudemire, and rebounded by James. Talking about the stats, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal as LeBron comes up short. How about Chris Paul with 12 assists and adds to the point total? He has 12 points, 12 assists, and only 1 turnover.
But Tony Parker with the lob to Chris Paul. Here is Dwayne Wade with a long three. That's the way he started the game out. But we've seen Chris Paul now at the end of the lob, and we've seen him in the post on a give and go with Shaquille O'Neal. So he's getting all kinds of plays and assists here today.
Parker. Rebound comes to Howard. And that pass broken up by Roy. Let's go over to David Aldridge. David.
Well, Terrell Owens, next year, the All-Star game in your hometown, in your new stadium. What do you think?
Oh, man, it's going to be exciting. 100,000 plus seats in there. It's going to be really wild.
You know, this game this year, the West is dominating, but obviously you're a West guy now. Where are your loyalties here?
I'm just a fan of basketball. You know, I love basketball. I got a lot of friends, LeBron, Kobe, Shaq. So anytime I can come out and get the full experience of being a fan, then I'm here.
There you go. Back to you, Marv. Thanks very much.
I was Terrell Owens wearing those 3D glasses that they used to wear in theaters for movies, and now obviously 3D being shown on an experimental basis for television.
He likes to see things in, you know, three-dimensional.
Differently.
What's wrong with that?
Watching what is happening in front of him in 3D.
T.O. wouldn't be T.O. T.O. wouldn't be T.O. Marvelous.
We're coming up on the final minute of play. The West with a 138-117 lead. Able to break things open in the second quarter. They had that 19-0 run. The East did get back into it. Here's Roy with the setup for Stoudemire. Ernie Johnson and Eva Longoria discussing Ernie's script.
What is EJ doing?
Yeah, look at EJ.
All right, here's Paul, and he blew it on the breakaway, but no one else in sight, so he lays it home. Eva's saying, no, I don't think you should go with that opening line. That won't work. But you can make things better. That third paragraph I thought was a little weak. And here's Stoudemire finishing it off. Amari Stoudemire with 17 points. Kobe Bryant, the high man, with 27. Well, we said earlier they were playing defense. What's going on here? Off the backboard, and Brandon Roy puts it down.
Well, it's interesting. The other night, Sean Marion's last field goal for the Miami Heat before he got traded was a dunk that beat the Chicago Bulls. Amari Stoudemire gets a dunk here. A lot of speculation. Will his last field goal in this arena be for the Phoenix Suns, be a slam dunk? We'll have to watch over the next few days.
Well, this is the guy who's put his hat into the slam dunk competition for next year. Giving everyone a little preview.
Everyone stepping aside, the crowd urging LeBron to stuff. And he comes through with the request as time has run out, and the West has defeated the East. Paul fires one 146-119. Kobe Bryant, the high point man, with 27 in his 29 minutes, along with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Shaq hits 8 of 9, hit 8 in a row after missing his first attempt. 17 points. Stoudemire with 19. Chris Paul 14 points, 14 assists, 7 rebounds for the East. LeBron with 20, Paul Pierce with 18, and Dwayne Wade with 18 points. So once again, that final score, the West 146, the East 119. We'll take a quick timeout, and then NBA Commissioner David Stern will present the All-Star Game Most Valuable Player Award. We'll be back in a moment.
The 2009 NBA All-Star Game on TNT, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you by Autotrader.com. Search the largest selection of cars and you'll find the car you want at the price you want. Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace. By State Farm, where great coverage meets great rates. Call, click, or visit and start saving today. By Sprite. And by Jordan, become legendary.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome NBA Commissioner David Stern and TNT's Ernie Johnson for the presentation of the NBA All-Star Game Most Valuable Player Award.
All right, thank you very much, and well done, Phoenix. We've enjoyed bringing it to you on TNT, and now the MVP hardware to be presented by Commissioner David Stern.
Thank you, Phoenix, for a great All-Star reception. Thank you, NBA players, for being the best in the world and being around the community all week. Thank you for entertaining us tonight. And there are co-MVPs who now each have 3 All-Star MVPs to their credit. Join me in congratulating Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal as the co-MVPs of the 2009 NBA All-Star Game.
All right, guys, so whose mantle does this go on first?
I'm just happy to be here. It's probably my last one. I'm 37. I'm just glad coaches voted me in. I'm just happy Cole was looking for me today. All the other guys were looking for me today. Appreciate it, and I'm just happy to be here.
Shaq, this is a very entertaining day from you from start to finish. What got into you in the pregame intros?
Well, I just wanted to do something different. You know, my kids, they love the Jabberwockies. I love the Jabberwockies. They asked me to come do something with them, so, you know, I just wanted to be a little different.
Hey, Kobe, the last time y'all played together was June of 2004, so almost 5 years ago. What was it like to be on the same side with Phil Jackson again today?
No, it was fun. It was fun. You know, Phil diagrammed a couple of things for us to play two-man game like we used to. And, you know, we went back to doing what we used to do, so it was fun.
And I know both of you have a great appreciation for the history of the game. Oscar Robertson was the MVP of the All-Star Game 3 times. So was Michael. Bob Pettit 4 times. You guys are in that elite company now. What's that mean to you, Shaq?
The big legendaries.
How about it, Kobe?
I can't put it no better than that, man.
Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, co-MVPs of All-Star 2009. Back to you, Marv.
All right, thank you, Ernie. Nice finishing touch to the Kobe-Shaq reunion with co-MVP honors. And as Ernie mentioned, that's 3 apiece now for both Kobe and Shaq.
Well, how about this? About 10 days ago, they said, what do you want to talk about in the Open? I said, I'll take the East. And Reggie goes, I'll take the West. I want to talk about the Kobe and Shaq reunion. He was right on the money, co-MVPs. Nice going, Reginald.
Well, I'm excited because, you know, those guys could go down as one of the greatest duos ever. And they could have won 5 or 6 championships if they would have stayed together. Tonight, they put their differences together, if there was any, go out and get co-MVPs.
You're talking, of course, about the legendaries, as Shaq once again
the big legendaries
coins a phrase. Looking back to the start of this game, the West with that 19-0 run in the second quarter, they end up shooting a sizzling 61%. Pretty good game in terms of the way it was played through halftime, and then it became a typical all-star game, I thought, midway through the third quarter.
I agree with that. I even wrote a note to Reggie. I said the air is sort of going out of this game right now. You could feel it slipping away, but Shaq was a big part of that run in that period of time, Marv, you talked about that run, 19-0 run. And then Kobe got his team off to a very good start. So it's nice to see those guys both rewarded here for the victory.
I didn't realize you guys write notes to each other. Wait a second.
We're BFFs over here, okay? For you, that's best friends forever, in case you want
Thank you.
to
Yes. Final score. It's the West 146 and the East 119. Thanks to our producers, Scott Cockero, director Renato Lowe, replay producer Rodney Vaughn, associate directors Bert Bondi, John O'Connor, and Eric Billigmeyer, production assistants JP Jeff Paris and Sam Polis, our statistician Paul Evans, stage manager Dave Hatter, our vice president Howard Zarkowitz, executive producer Jeff Benke, and the president of Turner Sports, David Levy. So the 58th NBA All-Star Game is in the books as the West has defeated the East 146 to 119. For Doug Collins, Reggie Miller, Craig Sager, David Aldridge, and the rest of the crew, I'm Marv Albert saying good night from the Valley of the Sun. Coming up next on TNT, it is an encore presentation of the All-Star Game. And over on NBA TV, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Chris Webber, and Gary Payton will bring you a special live edition of Inside the NBA. Thanks so much for tuning in. You've been watching the NBA on TNT.